What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an Arsenal inventory update to do for you guys. A little bit of everything this time, and this is going to serve as both a collection update and a show review. This past weekend, I, alongside some really awesome friends, made the trip up to Houston, Texas for the 12th edition of Destroying Texas Fest at Walters downtown. Yeah. I was still bummed that last year I wasn't able to make Destroying Texas Fest due to the fact that I was saving up for flying to Ohio for Hell's Head Bash Part 2, which was still a great experience in its own right, but there was just a small part of me that missed attending a Texas metal festival. And this year, I wanted things to be different. I did not want to miss out on anything because of the lineups, because of who was getting involved. This was something that I did not want to miss out on. And fortunately, I did not miss out on this festival. It was quite an amazing experience, to say the least bit. Of course, this fest, like any other fest, there are some ups and downs. Some bands get taken off. Some bands get replaced, some last-minute situations, but through it all, things went smoothly. The venue was fantastic. The people who were working there handled business very nicely. It was great to see old friends, make some new friends, and of course, get to experience some of the very best bands that the Underground has to offer. Let me start with day one. Unfortunately, I missed out on seeing the bands GNOSIS and Fetahil. The latter, which was a replacement for Oraculum because they weren't able to make it for this fest. But both of those bands in their respective rights are very solid and very much worth paying attention to. Luckily, I made it in time to the venue to see Satanic Goat Ritual from El Paso. I had heard and seen so many great things about this band over the years, getting to hear their music, all their splits, all their material, and seeing it live was quite a great experience to see. Really good drumming, great vocal work, just overall pure hatefulness and intensity in that set. And that's what you would expect out of Satanic Goat Ritual, is just pure intensity. Next up was Weregoat. And Weregoat was one of the bands that I was the most excited to see for that particular day. That band put out two really incredible EP releases, the split with Diocletian, and hearing them play a lot of that material live just was incredible. Just the way they looked, the way they sounded, the tight-knitness that this band had, it was just a sight to behold. And I believe they did a Bathory cover towards the very end of their set. I believe the song was Necromancy, if I'm not mistaken. That was very cool to see them do a Bathory cover and do it in their own Weregoat style. But yeah, Weregoat fucking kicked ass. They were one of the major highlights for me. Next up was Sacral Curse. Of course, they're perennial band to always play Destroying Texas Fest because, of course, some of the folks in Sacral Curse are behind this festival in itself. And of course, these guys know how to create great black and death metal. Great performances from this group, and also, like Weregoat, they did a Bathory cover as well. I forget the song in question, but I remember distinctively that it was a Bathory cover that they did. And it was quite fun to see them have fun and play that. But yeah, Sacral Curse are always fun. They get better and better every single time, whether it be live or in the studio. And they put out that really awesome EP from earlier in this year that you need to check out. Then we get to Manticore. I saw Manticore last year at Hell's Head Bash, and they were just fucking fantastic. They are always a fantastic band to see, and seeing them play live in this sort of setting made things a lot more special. It was a lot more intimate and a lot smaller, so to speak. It was still quite a packed house. But yet Manticore got the job done. They played some really great songs off of their full lengths, their splits. They have a split coming out. I believe one of them is going to have Bestial Mockery involved, some of their last recorded material. And that was pretty cool to see them do their business. And speaking of bands that I had seen in Ohio, I got to see Demonic Christ again. Demonic Christ are so awesome. And once again, seeing a band like that in a more reserved, smaller sort of setting made things all the more special. It brought out a fieriness that that if you've ever seen Demonic Christ live, you know how intense and fantastic their stage presences are. Incredible vocal work, great musicianship, just a lot of great fortitude being brought forward by this band. I honestly think they put on a better performance at Destroying Texas Fest in comparison to Hell's Head Bash, and I think it was very awesome to see them do their thing. Then we get to the band that stole the entire show for me that whole Friday, and I'm talking about NEKROFILTH from Canada. NEKROFILTH are a quintessential Canadian metal band, bringing forward a lot of evilness and blasphemy in their set. Once you saw those big stage banners get brought to the stage and onto the amps and everything, it was so fucking awesome, so evil, so twisted, playing a good majority of stuff throughout their full lengths, their splits, their compilation releases. It was just a sight to behold and to see them play great material. And that's when things got really, really crazy mosh pit wise. There was some stage diving going on, and I pretty much expected some craziness to happen during a certain band set, and NEKROFILTH was that band in particular. So they delivered a great performance, probably the best performance of night one in my opinion. But lest we forget the band that was really set to highlight day one of this festival, and that was Vertebrae from Greece. This was their very first US show, and probably one of the few times you will get to see this band play live this year. They were amazing. They were in a league of their own in comparison to all of the other bands that were playing that day. And just the fact that they brought their classic sound of Hellenic black metal together, just the stage presence, their vocalist Necroobisios just being very commandeering, very intelligent, very smart, pretty much having that stage presence to talk to the audience. Thank you, my brothers and sisters. That sort of thing going on. That was very cool to see. And he was a very cool guy to talk to towards the end of the set. But as far as the music goes, all great stuff. Stuff from their new material, stuff from their first 3 or 4 albums. It was a very solid set list, and they made some serious magic happen. Vertebrae brought the goods. Moving on to day 2. Didn't get to see Deadshore, unfortunately, but I'm sure they put on a really good performance, and unfortunately Wormreich had to cancel. Hopeful for the best in Wormreich's situation, because Wormreich really do deserve the best. But starting things off, we have Nigromagia from Arizona. Holy shit. I was hoping that they would be good, but I did not think they were going to be this good. From the distorted vocals, the venomous riffs, the fast drumming, very clear and audible bass. It was just an incredible sight to behold. Them getting to play material off of their EPs and demos, and just a good insight into what's going to be soon to come from them in the future. Nigromagia are a band that are going to be making a lot of noise within the coming years, and they are a band that you should seriously pay attention to and listen to. They really are a sensational band to be supporting. Next up we have Cemetery Lust. Very, very good, very sleazy, filthy, dirty sort of death metal sounds. Just the way this band looked, the way they went about things, they brought a certain entertaining factor to their performance, and I thought it was really cool to see them do their thing and have fun. Once again, they were a band that I saw last year in Ohio at Hell's Head Bash, and seeing them once again in a smaller sort of setting made things all the more special. Cemetery Lust were highly, highly enjoyable. Next was Raped God 666 from Mexico. I believe there was a little bit of trouble prior to this band performing, because I believe their drummer was unable to make it, so I believe the drummer from Sacro Curse decided to join in on the project and rehearse for a couple of days, which in all honesty is kind of impressive considering the amount of material and the amount of time they had to get things ready together. It was for what it was worth, it was a very solid set. It almost had an Exodus like type of feeling to it as far as the vocals and the song structuring and the execution felt. It felt like a black thrash sort of Exodus sound, and I thought they were really, really good. So Raped God 666 were pretty impressive. Next up was War Master. They were a last-minute replacement for Wrathprayer, because like Oraculum they weren't able to make it into the country, unfortunately, but War Master are always a blast, and they had a brand new lineup in tow, And seeing them with a brand new lineup and getting to see Rahi and Dauber together in a band to make music was just something awesome, because they're currently in the midst of closing the chapter in Insect Warfare book, so to speak. But they have War Master, and War Master was just so awesome. The lineup was great, the music sounded awesome, Rahi had the intelligent stage presence. It was just a great sight to behold them, see them here and play their material, play some new stuff. It was very fun to see. Now we get to the real treats of the evening. The last 3 bands of this whole day. Ungod from Germany. These guys have been long-standing veterans in the black metal underground, but this was their very first live show. And for this being their first live show, this is as close as you're ever going to get to seeing authentic German black metal live. I mean, think, if you will, if you were to ever see Moonblood live. This is as close as you're ever going to get, because this was just so damn awesome. This vocalist looked in torment, in pain, and just the way he handled himself on stage was just awesome. The black corpse paint and makeup smeared all over his face. As for the rest of the band members, they looked intimidating and intense too. Them playing material from their first full-length and assorted other releases, it was just incredible. For this being the first time they ever play live in front of anywhere, this was amazing. And I really commend Ungod for just delivering some classic black metal sounds. That was perfect for the night and perfect for the atmosphere. Then we get to Karasferous, another band that made their very first live setting performance, because aside from Karasferous, you pretty much know the trio of Gene Palubicki, Pete Helmkamp, and Ronnie Palmer as the modern-day Angel Corpse. But Karasferous was brought back to life because of Angel Corpse, because Jay Reed of Revenge didn't want to have to be involved in this newer sort of increment of the band. So it became a side project of Angel Corpse, so to speak. And getting to see this band in a live sort of setting was quite different. It's a much different sort of sound than Angel Corpse. A lot more dissonant, a lot more twisted, a lot more psychological, and it showed live because pretty much everyone in the band was shrouded. Pete Helmkamp had like a face mask on, Gene was hooded up, Ronnie had some sort of a mask device over his face. You could see his eyes, but you couldn't see the rest of him. It was crazy. And they brought craziness with their set. And their set was short, because they only played the material from their first 2 EPs. That was pretty much all we got. And what we did get from this band was well worth watching and seeing. I thought Karasferous were very entertaining. And the last band to close out for day 2 was Mortem from Peru. Legendary cult band from the country. Very intense death metal, and that's when shit got really intense. Lots more stage diving than the previous day, lots more moshing than the previous day. Everybody lost their minds when they were playing, and they made things that much more entertaining. Very historied sort of career, very legendary sound, very legendary band, and they proved why they have such a respected name in the metal underground. And Mortem were so much fun. They made everyone in the room light up, especially me, and they really made such great metal magic happen. And that was quite a wonderful way to close things out for Destroying Texas Fest 12. Such an incredible weekend, getting to hang out with such amazing friends, amazing people I know, people that I got acquainted with in person for the first time. It was such an awesome feeling. And next year is already looking intense, because from what I understand and see, Cyanide is already going to be involved, and Impurity from Brazil will be making their first U.S. appearance. So next year will be a mandatory attendance, and this will be a fest that serves itself as a nice little option for all other sorts of fests going on in and around the country. I mean, if you don't want to attend something like Maryland Death Fest or Metal Thread or Hell's Head Bash or something like that, something a little bit more intimate and smaller, you have Destroying Texas Fest, and I definitely would welcome and encourage anybody to come out to that festival next year or for many more years to come. I think this fest is a seriously big deal now. It was made a big deal last year, and it certainly is a big deal now, so major respect and support to everybody involved in Destroying Texas Fest. Last Nightmare Productions, Sekhmet's Wrath, Walters, fucking incredible. Now that we got the show review out of the way, let's get the merch haul down. I got a fuckload of stuff to show you here, and I'm going to start out with shirts, followed by tapes, CDs, and then vinyl. First off is a shirt that was given to me by my very good friend the Wrangler in Manticore. This was such a very kind thing of him to do for me. He hooked me up with a shirt, Manticore logo t-shirt. I've always liked this Manticore logo. It's very evil looking. I like the way this is. And this is a tour shirt, if I'm not mistaken. I see the band Kill on there, and then Manticore, and I believe the shirt says Blasphemy, Degradation, and Death. US flag sort of look with a crucified image and tour dates. Such a cool back design, but very simple sort of shirt, and I'm very grateful for this, so thank you very much, Adam. Next is, I just talked about this band for day 2, and this was the shirt that I wanted the most out of any of these. I'm talking about the Great Mortem. Very awesome logo, and I like the design on this thing. It's a very happy goat right there, if you can see that very well. Very good print on this, very high quality, very much worth the price. And of course you have the emblem for Destroying Texas Fest on the back of this shirt. There were a lot of Destroying Texas Fest exclusive shirts for this weekend, and this was quite a sight to behold. I'm very happy to own this Mortem shirt. It's very awesome. Got a couple of tapes from the Head Split Records distro. I got to meet Disguster from the Necrodrunks. He plays in Cemetery Lust, but he also runs Head Split Records. I got a couple of tapes from him. First off is something from Hell's Headbangers. This is NEKROFILTH with Devil's Breath, their debut full-length. Seriously killer, punk-ish sort of death metal. They're always a fun band to watch live and see play. Very good stuff. Very awesome release. And of course you have this Pro J card with the track listings and assorted lyrics and stuff. Very cool. Very professionally done. That's how Hell's Headbangers gets the job done. And comes on a very nice lime green sort of pro tape, side A, side B. Very well done, and it sounds great too, so yeah, check out NEKROFILTH with the Devil's Breath. And then I couldn't buy something from Head Split Records without getting a Head Split Records release, and this is one of the newer sort of reissues, and I'm seriously stoked to have something like this. This is SHAH with their debut full-length entitled Beware. This is some seriously cult, mid-80s thrash from Russia. Seriously an incredible full-length album. Pretty much one of those hidden gems from yesteryear. Such entertaining music going on here. This is how you do thrash in the late 80s. I mean, Total Devastation, Coward, Age of Dismay, Say Hi to Anthrax. Just very awesome work from this band. I believe Dark Symphonies reissued the CD versions of their first couple of full-length albums, and Head Split put out the tape for this release, so it's pretty damn awesome that this happened. So anyway, simplistic J card, opposite side with credits and information, and the tape itself is pretty cool. It's on like a silver pro tape, side A, side B. Great sound too. Always a good job done with the Head Split Records releases, so yeah, check out SHAH with Beware. Got a couple of CDs to show you here. I missed out on seeing this band, but I wanted to get some music from them. I'm talking about GNOSIS with The Third Eye Gate, Nuclear War Now Productions. I think these guys are based out of Florida, and they play some really good death metal. Very it almost has a sort of metaphysical sort of feeling going for it when it comes to the presentation, the sound quality, the delivery. It's just a very good death metal record and very much something worth paying attention to. So that's GNOSIS with The Third Eye Gate. And I bought this CD from the Demonic Christ table, and this was something very cool to have if you are familiar with stuff pre-Demonic Christ. This is Mythic with the Anthology. Pretty much this was the band that Dana Duffy was in before Demonic Christ, and of course this also featured Mary Bielik from Dirketa. Very, very, very influential death metal project from the mid-90s. Very, very good stuff. This is pretty much a compilation of their first couple of demos and a rehearsal tape. A very high quality release. Across Infernal Wastelands, Dark Recollections Productions release. Glossy little booklet here with collage photos, all the band members, and credits and information. Very top of the food chain compilation release here, and very much worth looking into. Seriously classic death metal from Mythic right here. And now we get to the vinyl. This is another piece of awesomeness that was bestowed upon me by the Wrangler from Manticore, and this was one of their more current releases. This is a 7-inch split between Manticore and Ritual Slaughter, entitled Depraved Sacraments, Bleak Bone Mortualia, Tridroid Records. Good stuff. Manticore only has one track on here, Black Sheep Amongst the Wolves, Ritual Slaughter with Sworn to Profanation, Demonic Convergence. Really, really good songs on this release. Very simple sort of packaging here. Lyrics and credits for all the songs here. Comes with a nice little miniature poster of the artwork. And it comes on a standard black vinyl. It's Manticore, Ritual Slaughter on the other side. But yeah, very good stuff, and I'm seriously excited to hear what Manticore does next. The Ritual Slaughter side is pretty damn good too, so very much worth checking out. So yeah, that's Manticore and Ritual Slaughter with Depraved Sacraments. Very, very good stuff. And these last 4 records I purchased from the Morbid Metal Records distro table that was at the Destroying Texas Fest area where all the merch was. I was planning to get records from this particular section of the distro, and this was something that needed to be done. And the first record I'm going to show you is a 2016 release. I recently reviewed this, and this band recently completed some live shows in the US, and I'm talking about Disaster with the Oath of an Iron Ritual. Released on Metal Blade Records. This is the vinyl version put out through High Roller Records. Really, really excellent German black thrash. One of the very best in the business, one of the very best going today. Proclamation and Shadows, the Cleric's Arcanum, Conquer and Contaminate, the title track. Seriously excellent release. And this album still holds up quite well today. So this could see a spot in my top 20 by the end of this year. So yeah, here's the front cover. Very glossy sort of sleeve. Back cover with band members and track information. Comes with a pretty good amount of goodies here. Comes with this really, really big poster of the artwork. If you can see that, very nice quality here on this poster. Yeah, let me put this back in here. Lyric sheet. Lyrics and credits and all that sort of stuff. And comes on a standard black vinyl. Very good quality here. Very nice sound. So yeah, that's Disaster with the Oath of an Iron Ritual. Very much worth paying attention to. Since I saw these guys live on day 1, I had to get some sort of music from this band, and this is pretty much one of the only things I saw from them, but it's a good one. This is Verathron with their second album, Walpurgis Nacht. Nuclear War Now reissue. This is their second album, and I believe this is where things got better for Verathron from there. Such incredible material to be heard on this particular album. Cassiopeia Zode, Mestigoth, Birthrise of the Graven Image, Under the Sight of Horus. Just some very memorable songs to be heard on this particular album. And of course, in due time, Verathron got even better and more legendary from then on there. So yeah, here's the front cover, back cover, glossy gatefold right here, full artwork in the back, gatefold, band photo and credits, lyrics. Comes with a poster. Take this out right quick. Yeah, there we go, Verathron, Walpurgis Knot. And this is also on a standard black vinyl. Once again, a very good quality sort of release. So that's Verathron with Walpurgis Knot. This was the other band that done it for me on day one of Destroying Texas Fest, and I was so happy to get myself a copy of this. I had the CD of this, but having the vinyl I thought was a little bit better. This is Necro Holocaust with Ritual Goat Command 2003 to 2013. Morbid Metal Records. This is pretty much a compilation release of stuff and material throughout their entirety of their splits and compilations. Cover songs, original songs, demo tracks. Just a very, very good compilation of material throughout the first decade of this band's existence. Of course, their debut album is awesome, Holocaustic Goat Metal, something worth checking out. But if you want to know the earlier workings of a band like this, this release is fucking awesome. The CD is good. The vinyl version had to omit a couple of tracks, but I can understand. It's no big deal. But yeah, pretty fucking awesome to hear them do the original and the cover tracks. So yeah, front cover, lots and lots of goats here. Back cover with track listings. This is the limited edition version, because this is limited to 500 copies, and 400 came on black vinyl, 100 came on red. I have a lyric this is a sheet here with the original artwork. Thanks and credits. Comes with a poster of this star with the goat artwork on here. Very, very cool. Woven patch, very high quality. And the vinyl color is on, this is part of the 100 copies, this is on a red vinyl. I believe this is side A. Side B with the Morbid Metal Records logo on here. Yeah, very top quality release done here, very good sound quality, very good release overall. I'm an even bigger fan of Necro Holocaust now than I ever was before, and I cannot wait to hear this band put out new material and hopefully one day see them live again. They are a band worth the admission price of seeing be played live, so yeah. Necro Holocaust, Ritual Go Command, 2003 to 2013. And the last record I'm going to show you is pretty much the big get for me of this whole weekend. I've been wanting to get my hands on this album for quite a long time, and now I finally decided to get my hands on it, and it was well worth it. This is Mystifier with Goetia. This is a Mutilation Productions 2015 reissue. Brazilian import. But yeah. Mystifier are one of the most legendary occult bands to come out of Brazil. Very awesome black metal. Their implication of great lyrics, keyboards, howled vocals, memorable riffs, just incredible songs to be heard all the way throughout. The Sign of the Unholy Cross, Beelzebub, Cursed Excruciation, The Sinuous Serpent of Genesis. Just some great, great memorable songs on this entire release. I think this was a higher step above Wicca, and just an overall great body of work for this band. But I would have to say Goetia is the best material Mystifier ever put out. So yeah, anyway. Front cover, very iconic imagery on this. Back cover, Mutilation Productions, Limitado M500, which is of course 500 copies. Gatefold. Band members in question of the original lineup from back in the day. I have a lyric sheet with lyrics and whatnot. And this is quite an interesting thing I noticed about this release. I had to do some research to make sure I wasn't messing up on certain things. But this is two different sort of vinyl colors here. The color for the first record is an almost maroon sort of color. It's like a brownish maroon sort of color. I don't know if you're able to see that or not, but it's a maroonish sort of color, which I thought was very cool to see at first. But the second record comes on a standard black vinyl, which I thought was pretty weird. Standard black vinyl for side C and side D. I think it's weird that, I don't know if that's ever happened before, but I think it's weird seeing one vinyl color being colored and the other vinyl being a standard color, so it's whatever. I'm not complaining. I'm just really grateful and happy to own this album. And in due time, I probably will get more records from Mystifier if they're ever available. I'm pretty sure that they're out there and they won't be that difficult to find and come across. So. Yeah, sorry about that. Trying to stick this whole thing in here without having to have anything fold or get... Okay, I think I got it. Oh, fuck it. Mystifier, Goetia, go check this out. And yeah, that's going to conclude this video. I really appreciate all you guys watching. I'm going to leave you links in the description box to all of the bands that I talked to you about in this video today, and I will also leave you links in the description box to where you can watch some live footage. There is currently live footage streaming on YouTube of a couple of the bands that played that weekend. I want to say Nigromagia, Vertebrae, Carasferous, and whatever I'm able to come across, I will leave you links in the description box. I will leave you a link to Cryptic Visions, which is a locally operated Texas-based metal YouTube channel that has live footage. I will link you to that, to videos from that channel, and go subscribe to that. And I will also link you to Morbid Metal Records, so you can purchase stuff from there and help support the cause. So if you happen to attend Destroying Texas Fest 12, let me know what you think and what your favorite experiences were, what your favorite bands were of that weekend. If you have ever attended Destroying Texas Fest, if you're into any of the bands that I mentioned, let me know and let's talk about it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you guys for checking out my channel. Until the next time, Army Ho out.